You're watching UNICEF television. Slicing its way through the heart of Africa, the Congo River is one of the world's mightiest waterways. Wrapped in an aura of myth and legend, it has carried people and goods through some of the continent's most inaccessible rainforests for centuries. It also carries disease. In June last year, a cholera outbreak in the northern DRC spread down and across the river into the neighboring Republic of the Congo. The river makes for a porous border. Fishermen and traders from both sides hop from one country to the other while crisscrossing the islands in between. When cholera hit Ilmbamu, a large island upriver from both capital cities, people here had no idea what it was or where it came from.
For my nephew, it was a short disease. He got diarrhea, and within half a day he was like a skeleton and very weak. Within another half day, he died.
After losing their son, Dimitri's sister and her family boarded up their house and abandoned the island. Path is overgrown now, their belongings coated with dust. Dimitri mourns his nephew and understands the parents' pain. He almost lost his son Stuart to cholera just a few days later.
It started at 3 a.m. By 8 a.m., he was also very weak and could barely speak. I thought, no, I must go to Brazzaville.
Stuart was lucky. After 6 days in the hospital, he recovered and now plays football with his friends. Ilmbamu has no running water and very few latrines, an ideal breeding ground for cholera to survive and thrive. When the outbreak hit Brazzaville, squatter settlements with poor sanitation were badly hit. Makeshift latrines feed directly into the same stream in which children play and people bathe.
The hygiene conditions are very precarious. The sanitation system is not working properly, and there isn't enough drinking water available. Cholera is a disease linked to poor hygiene, a disease caused by poor sanitation, a disease caused by lack of access to water. It's called the dirty hands disease.
In all, the Republic of Congo recorded 775 cases of cholera and 32 deaths, although the real numbers may be higher. In response to the outbreak, UNICEF and WHO, through the United Nations Central Emergency Response Fund, have launched a series of initiatives throughout the affected areas to treat, combat, and prevent cholera. On Ilmbamu, chlorination points have been established and workers have been trained to purify water for drinking, cooking and bathing. Latrines have been built in public spaces like markets and schools, and a social mobilization program is teaching villagers the importance of hygiene and clean water, while children at school are learning to wash their hands with soap.
The Central Emergency Response Fund has been very vital in bringing quickly assistance to the areas that were affected by cholera. For example, these islands here in the river and in between the two countries, because there is no electricity, there is no clean water, they have no health centers. It's a population that needs a lot of our assistance and we often forget about them.
But despite the interventions throughout the affected areas, the threat from across the river remains. So the Central Emergency Response Fund has committed $4.4 million to UNICEF and $4.6 million to WHO for cholera response in DRC. The next rainy season is fast approaching, and with it the potential for new outbreaks of waterborne diseases like cholera on both sides of the Congo River and the islands in between. With better access to clean water, latrines, communities in both countries have a much better chance of protecting themselves and their families. You've been watching UNICEF television. For more information, visit unicef.org. Unite for Children.